Hello. Yes, sir.
Sir, not yet joined, na? He has not yet joined, na?
Pardon, sir?
Our guest has not yet joined, it seems, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is not
Okay.
joined, sir.
So, shall I put a message?
Yes, sir.
I think it is almost 10:30, na?
80 students.
I'll just put a message, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good morning to all. Lokhande sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Gauri sir. Lokhande sir,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Thakur sir will also be joining very soon.
Okay.
So accordingly, you instruct to our host,
Yes, sir.
anchoring team. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thakur sir is also.
Very good morning to all of you once again. And let me welcome our respected director, sir, as well as Dr. Mahendra Gowli, sir, our Dean IR, and Lokande, sir. Our guest will join within 5 minutes.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah. Thakur sir, our alumni will join within 5 minutes. He's stuck
Okay.
up. Nah, he is stuck up with some work. We requested just give me 5 minutes. So within 5 minutes he will join.
Sir, by the
Okay
time,
then.
can I add one thing?
Yeah, Gauri sir.
Sir, actually, sir, today morning we got a one reply from my tax. One of the students from the computer department, she received the her profile is get shortlisted for the next round.
Very
So I
good.
would request
Yeah,
that.
very good, Gauri sir. You please take up. No problem. Hosts, are you ready? Yeah. Please unmute. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. So Gauri sir, please proceed. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would request that please check the profile. So far, Siddiqui sir has shared with me the one document. Some of the student profile is rejected, some of the profiles are not received any reply from the my test. So I would request all the students please check the profile.
Hello. Gauri sir, your voice is not clear. I hope, is it clear? Others are getting clear voice, or there is a little disturbance?
Sir, I guess disturbance at not my end. Yes.
Yeah, now it's okay, sir. Yeah, please continue.
Fine. So I was just saying that my tax is trying to sending the shortlisted students emails. So I would request that if you are, I guess Gauri Sandar is here. Gauri.
अच्छा,
So those students whose profile is get shortlisted, please ask them to check their profiles. So this is from my end.
Congratulations once again. काफी बड़ा लॉन्ग है। और ज़्यादा फिट नहीं करते हैं। वैसा कुछ नहीं।
Agarkar sir. Hello.
Yeah,
Sir,
yes.
the guest has joined, sir. Ramnathan sir.
Okay. Yeah. And Gauri sir has finished?
Yes, sir. I finished my work.
Okay. So let us start then.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Arya, it's morning over this side.
Yes, Nanika, but the expert of today's session is sitting on the other side of the globe. Am I right, sir? Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, you are.
Yes. In today's digital age, where money meets technology, the role of engineers is in financial technology is more crucial in engineers and in financial technology is more crucial manner. We are here to explore the dynamic world where innovation in finance and technology interaction. I, Ms. Gavan Arya, Secretary of IEEE Student Section, along with my co-host, Ms. Mule Sanika, Secretary of IEEE Women in Engineering Affinity Group. It's our pleasure to be your host for today's enlightening session, that is role of engineering in financial technology and future of banking. We are fortunate to have Mr. Ramnathan sir, who is Vice President of Technology Bankier City, Swings Savings Credit Union, British Columbia, Canada. Mr. Ramnathan is alumni of 1998 batch from Electronics Department. He will be elaborating on role on engineering in financial technology and financial of banking. This program is being organized by Sanjeevani. Sanjeevani is my storyboard, an initiative undertaken by our institute to facilitate better interaction with the alumni who have achieved professional excellence. This will definitely provide an opportunity for students to learn from those who were on their shoes many years back. Now, to formally begin with the proceedings, I request Dr. B.S. Agarkar sir, HOD of Electronics and Computer Engineering, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Arya. So on behalf of all of us, I welcome Ramanathan for this particular session. And I think, are you traveling?
Yes, sir, and I want to sincerely apologize. Actually, it's totally my mistake. I thought it's tomorrow.
Ah,
Because we are 1 day behind, it's a miscalculation. So that's why I'm actually going back home right now. But so that's why you might see that I'm in car talking to you, because I know that lots of people here have invested a lot of time to be part of this session. So I don't want to miss it. And if I'm not that legible to you, please let me know, and I can definitely, just for 15 minutes. Once I reach home, everything will be good.
No problem, no problem. Yeah. So for this today's program, I welcome our respected director, sir, Dr. A.G. Thakur. I also welcome Dr. Mahendra Gauli, sir, who is the Dean IR, Dr. Sebastian George, Professor D.G. Lokhande, who is the coordinator of My Storyboard of our department, all other faculty, our hosts, those are hosting this today's program, and all my dear students. I welcome all of you for this today's Sanjeevani My Storyboard program on the topic role of engineers in the financial technology and the future of banking. So as far as this Sanjeevani My Storyboard is concerned, so I would like to brief Ramanathan about this particular platform. So specifically, we have created this platform for our esteemed alumni, so that they can come here and they can share their story with their juniors, so that these juniors and these current students, they will feel that either someone who is sitting on this bench in the same classroom, so he is at such a position now, so that they will also feel that yes, I can also reach to that particular position. So I'll request you to share your story in short, and then you can tell them means all about this financial technology and the role of engineers, because today a lot of technology is being used in the financial transactions, financial market, and there is a lot of scope. So I hope you have a lot of experience, because I have gone through your LinkedIn profile also, and you have huge experience in this particular field. So I'm very sure that you will enlighten all these students, and some of the students, those who have the interest in this, they may have means they can find their career also in this particular field. So with this, once again, wholeheartedly, I welcome you means back to the Sanjeevani family. And let me tell you, I'm very happy to tell you that this year our Sanjeevani group of institutes, they have completed 40 years of academic excellence. So we are celebrating this means 40 years journey. A Ruby Jubilee celebration this year means we have started, and as a part of this, in the month of December, we have called a mega alumni meet. So I wish that physically you come to the campus and see what is going on, what's happening. So we are eager to meet you if you could find out some time. So that's the open invitation means to you from our side. So with this, once again, I welcome you, and I hope all the students, they will enjoy this session and they will ask their doubts, whatever they have. So with this, I conclude. So thank you very much. Over to the anchors. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I call upon our director, A.G. Thakur, sir, our beloved director, to say a few words on this occasion. Over to you, sir.
Hello. So, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ramanathan.
Morning, sir.
So, in which year you have passed?
1998.
1998. Okay. Very long back. Okay. Anyhow, so welcome to this other program, My Storyboard. And really, I am happy that you find your time to interact with the student. Because you see, particularly technological advancements are taking at very, very fast rate in the industry. Day before yesterday on Sunday, I got the opportunity to discuss with the Vice President of Sybage. Two VPs were there. And he asked me, sir, what is the way the curriculum is being changed? And I told that university system, it is changing 5 years. Okay. Then he told that industry changing every 3 months. Then I told him that if not at 3 months, at least 6 months we can update. So because we are autonomous, so we can update every 6 months if any suggestions are there. So forget as a part of our other discussion. So I appreciate that you have find your time to discuss, and I request all the students that whatever the doubts are in your mind, please get it cleared. And also thanks to the head of the EC department for organizing this event, and our Dean International, Dr. Mahendra Gauri sir, who is always keen to connect with the uh, international personalities like you, professors
Thank you,
from
sir.
various academic institutes, as well as we are connecting with the various persons, our alumni also and other also who are working in the industry, because that is the need to fill the gap between the our whatever we are dealing and what exactly the industry is expecting. So thank you for
Sir,
being
I
part
would
of
like
this
to
session, and I wish
request
all the best.
you. Yes, sir. Thakur sir, I would like to request you, please update Ramanathan sir about our students at Canada right now. So I guess that Thakur sir is here.
Yeah, Gauli sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, you please means update all those things. I'll request means our hosts means to call you also means for
No,
briefing.
no. Actually, it is not by the protocol. After the director, sir, I can
No, no,
speak.
no, sir. No problem. No problem. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much for this platform. Ramanathan sir, it's a very great pleasure to connect with you. And it's our honor that, sir, since last couple of years, our students are continuously going to the Canada with the various states, various university. They joined McGill University, they joined the Concord University, they joined the Newfoundland University, New Brunswick University for their internship as well as the MS. So it's a really proud moment for all of us. And being as a senior alumni, we are expecting that you will guide our students time to time. So this is from my end. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. As all of you were anxiously waiting to listen to the expert, now I call upon my co-host Miss Sanika Mure, who is the secretary of IEEE Women in Engineering Affinity Group, to say a few words further. Over to you, Sanika.
Thank you, Arya. It gives me great pleasure to introduce today's expert, Mr. Ramnathan Narayanan. Mr. Ramnathan is a seasoned leader with over 22 years of experience managing complex financial technology solutions from idealist of sustainment. Sir leads and mentors teams across geographies and time zones, helping financial institutes transfer their technology landscape. So strongly believe in cultivating an innovation culture and brings about the passion in the teams to be their best. Mr. Ramnathan, being a leader, always believes in small wins and continuous evolution to realize the vision. He is currently working as Vice President of Technology at the largest credit vision in Canada. We are very proud to say that a person with such a caliber has been a student of this department. On behalf of all those who are assembled here, let me extend a warm welcome to you, sir. We are anxiously waiting to listen to you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. First of all, I feel so, I should say, embarrassed that I'm getting so much of recognition from all of you folks. And first of all, sir, Bala Saab, sir, Mahindra, sir, please don't call me Ramanathan, sir, because I've been a student of yours. So I should call you sir. You should not call me sir at all. So please don't call me sir. So I'm so grateful that I got educated from that university and basically got to understand about the hardships of actually able to learn and able to impart that knowledge to others. And that's what I actually agreed to have this session with all of you folks around, that I can actually share some of my experience, because things have radically changed from when I started my journey from an engineering and going into banking. And currently the world is totally different, right? And that's where I wanted to ensure that if I'm able to inculcate some kind of a thought process in all of your minds who are attending this call, that what, it makes sense when we talk about engineering and banking, right? Earlier, when I actually finished my engineering and I told my parents, you know what, I'm not interested in engineering, I want to be a banker. And they said, oh no, you didn't do chartered accountancy, you didn't do any finance, so why do you want to be a banker? So it was, but now it has totally changed. Now I'll give you more pretext about what I'm trying to say here, right? So, but to start with, I think I'm always very proud of being an alumni of the college Cisco, and nothing can be compared to the experience that I got in that 4 years that I studied, with excellent teachers that I had, who imparted the knowledge. Now, just briefly on my experience here. So, to be honest, in the last 23 years, I just had 1.5 years in these 23 years where I was purely working on electronics engineering experience. The remaining 21 years was purely my engineering mathematics knowledge is what really helped me to be really successful in where I am right now. So I really encourage all you folks to have your basics very strong with regards to engineering, because that engineering will actually change the course. And I'll give you the whole context of why I'm saying all those things. So engineering and banking 20 years before were kind of two different verticals. You're an engineer or you're a banker. You're a part of banking. So generally people will not relate an engineering person to be part of the banking industry. Nowadays, things have radically changed, right? I am actually leading a team who are basically full of engineers, right? So it doesn't matter whether you're electronic engineer, mechanical engineer, but full of engineers who are actually part of my team, and they're all working for a bank, right? So they're part of the credit union. So now the point is, the education that you're getting from the college, it's very important that you keep that education alive. You keep yourself actually appraised with how the things are changing, and then that is what will help you in the banking side. Now, why why am I talking just about banking? Because my past 20 years of experience has been purely on banking. I have traveled around 24 countries and 60 cities across the world, just by using my banking knowledge and my engineering knowledge. Now, what does that actually mean is that this should be a motivation for all of you folks here, to ensure that you know it's very important that you can actually translate your knowledge. What I am missing right now is that when I was doing engineering, I think nothing wrong to the professors, right? A practical use case of how I can use my engineering knowledge into some of the specific, like the banking. What I learned in all these years of experience is that the banking itself is being changing into something that I'll explain about platform banking. Things are changing into how the original banking was is going to be changed as platform banking. Now, what does a platform banking actually mean? Everything that we do would be based on engineering principles. I'm pretty sure that all of you folks who are in this call would have learned about all these linear algebra, probabilities, permutation combinations, and also about something like uh, basic engineering principles. So those things have become so prominent now in our banking. It was never the case before. Never the case before. Banking was supposed to be a GL ledger, debit and credit, and that's about it. Nowadays, it has become totally different, whereby every bank or the financial institution across the world are looking for engineers who can actually talk analytical subjects, right? So you need to be very analytical about what you are thinking. So, and generally speaking, when you do engineering, you tend to increase your analytical knowledge on how you actually approach a specific problem, right? So I think now I am currently the vice president of the technology in the largest credit union in Canada. This was a journey that I traveled, right, to becoming what I am right now. But you folks are actually quite lucky. Why? Because when I did my engineering and came out, nobody was able to relate engineering with banking. Nobody. So people thought that engineering is for specific purpose, banking is specific purpose. Nowadays, people are able to actually relate engineering and banking together in one tone, they can talk about engineering banking. Now, how does it actually work when we talk about engineering and banking? When I say engineering, I want to be very clear with all of you. I'm not talking about any specific line of engineering. I'm not talking about mechanical engineering, electronic engineering, computer engineering. I'm talking about engineering as an analytical skill. I'm talking about engineering as a mathematical skill. So that is the key piece that you need to ensure that you're trying to absorb that knowledge when you're doing this, all these studies in engineering, because that is what will ultimately help you to be part of that organization, especially like me, because I'm trying to create a scenario whereby the engineers will become very prominent in the banking industry. And I'll give you specific examples. You might have heard about artificial engineering, machine learning, digital currencies, all these concepts, right? You might be either studying about it or you might be hearing about it. But I practically experienced that. I practically experienced that how many of the use cases are there where we can actually use our engineering concepts, right, on the mathematical concept, the analytical concepts onto something like data engineering, for machine learning, for artificial intelligence. Now, if I would have taken this kind of a discussion probably 10 years before, people might have said, you know what, there is too much. We are not in this game right now. We want to do basic banking. Now things have changed. Every bank or a financial institution across the world, again, I'm not specifically talking about Canada, across the world, have come to a realization that banks are meant for a specific purpose, to maintain the balances of the accounts of who are customers of the bank. Any specific functionality that a bank has to provide doesn't need to be done by the bank themselves. Everything is changing with respect to earlier. The banks used to have their own development teams within their own banking sector, creating that ecosystem. Now things have changed. They want to integrate with other third parties. I don't know how many folks have actually looked at and read about technology companies. So there are broadly multiple tech companies: fintechs, which is financial technology; paytechs, payment technology; insurtechs, insurance technologies. Then there is regtechs, which is regulatory technologies. Now, what bank is trying to do, if I roll back 20 years before, all these things are built within the bank by specific folks. It was legacy. Things are changing now. What the banks are doing is they're going more for something what is called as composable banking. They want to keep it simple. They want to keep the banking simple, and that provides a mode for folks like us to really thrive in banking industry, because now the banking is going to become like a basic transaction banking, but all other features that we're trying to do with respect to mobile payments, with respect to uh, artificial intelligence, with respect to machine learning, with respect to all the algorithms, all the things is our engineers like us are going to provide that value to the banking industry. So the important aspect that we all of us have to remember is that how to ensure that whatever you're learning as part of your engineering skills, two things I would always want to ensure that you all remember is mathematics is number one, that you need to always ensure that you have it at the back of your mind. It is going to be useful for you. And the second is your analytical skills, because engineers are meant for their analytical skills. So those two things is going to take you to a totally different path, especially when it comes to banking. Right. So these are the two key things that you always need to ensure that you are appraised of those things. Now, some of my colleagues who actually passed out, from the same college, they were actually my colleague. One of the individual is named as Nikhil Malhotra. I don't know, sir, whether you spoke to him or not. He's actually the chief innovation officer of Tech Mahindra. Now, being an engineer, he's actually a CIO of Tech Mahindra. So why? Because he has invested his time on mathematics. Similarly, I am investing my time right now. Even being as a VP in that role, I'm actually dedicating my time to refresh my mathematical skills, to refresh my skills with respect to linear algebra, with respect to integration, differentiation, all those things, because banking industry is changing right now. It is evolving right now. And the evolution is more towards our own engineering skills, right? On how we actually use our engineering skills to provide what the banking actually needs. So one thing that you can get from whatever I spoke right now is banking is no more a financial ledger organization. It is not. Banking is going to be what I termed it as platform banking. Every bank will become like a platform which will integrate using APIs to external third parties and also use the financial data to use something like artificial intelligence and machine learning on the data to do all the insights that is needed. Nobody would have thought about it probably 15, 20 years back, right? Maybe some of the big banks might be doing something, but now it has become quintessential. It has become so evident that all this data engineering that we are talking about, or the system engineering that we talk about, needs actual engineers like you, needs actual engineers like me. That's why I'm able to thrive. I'm able to relate myself to the subject that the banking is actually going for. That is where it is actually causing a lot of important for me that I'm happy that I did engineering, right? Because when external third parties are coming and talking to the bank about what they can do as a service to the bank, it's very difficult for a normal person to actually understand what they're trying to talk about. But an engineer, it becomes easy to understand what they're referring to and articulate their message to the banking sector. Now, going back to banking, when I talk about different geographies, right? India actually, in my opinion, is way ahead when it comes to technologies, especially related to financial technologies. You might have heard about all these digital currencies that they're trying to form, digital identity like the Aadhaar card, and also about Paytm and all these UPI and all those things. We are way ahead from Indian perspective. So you folks have an added advantage as compared to like Canadian jurisdiction or other jurisdictions for that matter, where we are trying to use India as an example on how India evolved a digital identity like Aadhaar card, how India evolved a UPI like a digital payment interface, which could be used for several types of real-time payments. So it has become quite evident now. I don't need to impart the knowledge to you. You might be already knowing. When we talk about UPI, it's all about APIs. It's all about application programming interface that connects to UPI for all these digital wallets that we talk about, the payment wallets. So that's why it has become crucial as engineers to be understanding what we are trying to do from payments modernization, then what we are trying to do for open banking, what we are trying to do for artificial intelligence. These are keywords, digital currencies, these kind of keywords that we need to keep ourselves updated, because all these things have an engineering aspect to it. All these things have an API aspect to it. All these things have a kind of what we call it as payload exchange. All everything is an engineering concept at the end of the day. Going to a banker 20 years before and saying JavaScript object notation, JSON. How many of you think that they will actually understand what we are talking about? Now, if you now go into a banking which is ahead and we talk about JSON, everybody knows. Everybody knows about JSON. Everybody knows about API. Everybody knows about data governance. Yeah, so that is how the industry is actually changing, the banking industry, where it is just not about servicing the members, but giving them products which are developed by the bank. Things are radically changing. The member experience is changing. The customers are asking for totally different things which a bank don't have the capability to provide. What do? They look for other third parties to actually provide that information. So, so if you put all these things together, at the center of this ecosystem is engineering. Engineering, mathematical skills, analytical skills to ensure that we are able to understand what the needs are and able to articulate that message to be able to use all these third parties that are talking about integrate with the bank. So banking itself as a domain has become more technical. It was not before. It was more towards very functional, very finance related. But nowadays, banking is more about technology. Banking is more about how do I integrate to a specific technology. That is how radically things are changing. And India is a gold mine. I'll tell you right now, India is a gold mine. I think so many times, why did I leave India and came to Canada? Yeah, I traveled to Dubai. I've been to Asia Pacific. I've been to North Africa. I've been to UK. I've been to so many places, but still, I think many times that I shouldn't have left India. If I'm really very focused about technologies, that's how much India is evolving when it comes to financial technologies. Now, my days are actually over, to be honest. So I'm actually settled down in Canada. But for all of you folks who are actually going to pass out of engineering, you need to really think twice about what you really want to do in the future. Earlier, engineers were supposed to join something like a Mahindra British Telecom or something like all these manufacturing industries. Things are not like that going forward. Things are not like that going forward. You have got lots of various options that you can actually avail based on your interest. Right? And banking is one of the ones, because I have invested my life in engineering and banking. So that's why I'm here to actually talk to all of you. Basically, yeah, if I'm able to actually create that thought process in within all of your minds, I believe that I'm successful, to be honest. Right? Because I really don't want to talk about all these specific details and the technical and all those in this call. But what I want to have a conversation with all of you is that if you all would like to ask me any questions, including sirs, even you, because there is lots of things I want to talk about, but I don't have time. But if you have anything that you wanted to ask me that might be running in your mind, I'm more than happy to share that with you, really, because I really don't want to be like a one-man session. I want it to be interactive. So you ask me any question. If I know, I'll definitely respond. But I will close my conversation by saying one thing, which is very important for all of you. I hope I can motivate you. Is that engineering, the important part that has actually engineering has given to me is my acumen to understand the analytical part of it. Anything that I look at, I always look at from an analytical perspective, and that nobody can impart that knowledge to you except engineering colleges, right? And I'm grateful to all my teachers who have actually pushed me to actually learn and really, you know, be giving that importance to mathematics. And uh, and yeah, that's it. And that is what is motivation for me, for to ensure that I'm trying to prove myself in the banking industry. I'll stop here because I really want it to be an open floor. Please ask me any questions that you believe, because after 1 year, if I see any of you 85 folks or whoever is there from a student perspective is working in the banking industry and he reaches out to me, I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy. So that's what I want. I want to motivate you to come to banking industry, because banking industry needs people like you, engineers like you, right now. Not now, another 5, 10 years, 15 years. Yeah. So I'll stop here.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session. Now we will open the floor for questions. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions. You may have our speakers will be happy to provide insights. So you can unmute yourself or drop your questions in chat box.
So may I?
Hello, Ramnathan, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. It's audible, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Shall I start with the question?
Oh, please.
Yeah. Of course. I remember when you have been a student in the 90s. So that time you were very rather excellent, I should say, in programming aspect, in analytical part and all. So, what has all of a sudden? You said you worked in the electronics field just hardly for 1.5 years, and thereafter you switched over to the banking. So, what has actually prompted you to take such a decision at that time? Because that time, as you said, banking was considered something totally different from engineering.
Oh yeah. That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. So, but the response is kind of very stupid. But I still say that my brother is a chartered accountant.
Yeah. Okay.
So my brother is a chartered accountant and I'm an engineer. So I actually wanted to be a chartered accountant, sir, Sebastian, sir.
Yeah.
So, but I took engineering because I wanted to learn, because I was an ardent fan of mathematics, right? So in 12th, it was the most hardest paper that was ever set, and I got like 95 out of 100. in
okay.
CBSE.
Okay.
So I was kind of like very much acumen towards penchant towards maths. So that's why I said, you know what, let me do engineering. But as soon as I did engineering and probably worked for like 1 hour in the 1 year in the electronics, I just felt, why don't I use my mathematical skills and see how I can translate that into a banking sector. It was a decision. It was a very big risk that I took, Sebastian sir.
Yeah.
I took I
Yeah.
took that risk, but it is paying me right now. Because at that time, people were not able to relate, saying that what is an electronic engineer doing in a bank? And there were a lot of questions being asked. But now I think I feel proud of it. But in full honesty with all of you, 22 years back, the decision that I took was not because of any skill set that I had or any knowledge that I had. It was purely based on my own gut feeling that I thought I can do something in the banking. And I always wanted to be a chartered accountant. That was the background, Dr. Sebastian. I
Okay.
wanted to be a chartered accountant, but I did engineering. So I thought I'll use my engineering skills, I'll use my math skills, but I learned finance. Right. And then I slowly transitioned to become like an engineer. And now it is paying off under God's grace.
So, may I? May
Yeah,
I?
go ahead, please.
Yes, go ahead,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Please.
Gauri sir,
Yeah,
please.
sir, really, sir, thank you very much for your great session, and it is really appreciated for the student that you motivated, really commendable. Sir, as you said that there is a very good scope into the banking sector, I do agree with this line, and I would like to update you that, sir, we hired the South African professor for our management student. And since last 10 days, he's in our campus and he taught the economics for our students, even though sometimes we had interaction with the engineering students also with him. So on the same line, my question is here, or my doubt rather, we would say, sir, as you said that there is a very good scope for next 5 to 10 years for the engineers. So can we
Mhm.
set some syllabus? Can we add some of the subjects into the syllabus which are leads toward the economics, leads toward the financial management in engineering? What do you think that, sir?
I think it's a great idea. I think one of the subjects, if you don't have already, that you should include is distributed ledger technology. If you already have one, that is good. But if you don't have one, I think I see that the evolution of DLT is going to be huge in the next 3 to 5 years, right? So that will be a very good subject. I hope that you already have a subject for AI, artificial intelligence,
Yeah,
machine learning. I hope you already have that. But DLT is something that I see will be radically changing the banking industry, especially trade finance, because of the way you can actually do, decentralized finance,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yes,
And when you talk about digital currencies, right, central bank digital currencies, it is
yeah,
based on DLT, right? So I think DLT is one thing I'll definitely recommend, sir. And one more thing I'll recommend is, engineering mathematics, right? If you have that, I think I had it in the first year. I don't remember.
yes, sir. We
You
have
know,
the mathematics.
you have, right?
Yes, sir. We have.
Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent because that is something that I'm using on a day-to-day basis, sir. Right? The engineering
Okay.
mathematics, the analytical skills, the probability, the permutation combination, linear algebra, I'm using on day-to-day basis. Day-to-day basis. Right? So I think
Yes,
that
sir.
is something. And from a technology perspective, I definitely say distributed ledger technology would be something that you should invest, to learn more about that. And obviously then you talk about blockchain,
Yes.
cryptocurrencies. It's all part of that whole architecture. So I think that is one subject I'll definitely recommend.
And sir, along with this one, thank you very much for this addressing my question. One more point that I would like to ask. Sir, what do you think that students should need to decide their path immediately once they join the engineering or after the engineering? Because we know that students should decide it immediately once they join the things. But it is great that if from your words, students will understood this point.
I will say one thing, sir, which is very clear for me. You can take a decision about coming into the banking sector even before you start the engineering, because banking sector, you use your engineering will give you that mindset to think analytical about every problem, right? That is what banking sector needs now. That's why banking sector needs engineers. It is no more as mundane process, like day-to-day mundane process. It's not the banking go. Every time when I go for any meeting, sir, they request me to think different, think out of the box, right? So, and that comes from engineering. So you don't need to pass the engineering to actually do that. You just need to think out of the box, think analytical. And all 4 years that you work in engineering, all you good teachers that I had, you actually created that more analytical skills for me to be successful, right? So I definitely say that you don't need to wait for 4 years. You can focus your skills on engineering, but if you have really thought about what you want to do for the future, you can even start from day one, right? What
Yes.
you want to do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I'm done from my end. Thank you.
Ramanathan, can
Thank
I
you, sir.
ask one more question?
Sir,
Hello.
as you said that to be an engineer, two things are important. That is mathematical and analytical.
Yeah.
So, talking about the analytical, as an engineer, from where should we start? That
So
skills about analytical.
yeah, so analytical has got multiple aspects. So one is, you know, all the mathematical skills that we talk about when you talk about probability, statistics, permutation combinations. It's all linked to the analytical part. I'll give you a real time example, right? So I am currently working on a project for which I need to look at what type of data set that I need to filter to provide the insights that my business would need to understand what the member is experiencing, right? So when you do engineering and you start thinking analytically, you are able to actually articulate that knowledge to actually say, you know what, you have, because banking is huge, you'll have huge amount of data. So if you start looking from like every small things, you will never finish the project. So analytical basically means is that you try to divide that problem statement into small problems, right? And then start addressing those small problems using your skills that you have learned, right? So what that basically means is that what is the statistical probability that this event will occur with the data set that you have? This, the thing that I told, I'm telling you, no finance or no banker will understand what I said, but an engineer will understand what I'm trying to say here, right? If you have got 1 million data set, somebody comes to you as a banker, can you please give me an analytical report on using this data set to determine how many of them are actually happy about what they are getting offered by the bank? You need to know mathematics, you need to know artificial engineering intelligence, you need to know machine learning, you need to know regression models, you need to know math, you need to know all these probabilities and all those things to even understand that problem. And now I'm telling you right now, whoever has asked the question is a great question, because those are the things that are coming to the bank on a day-to-day basis, because banks can only survive if the customers are happy with the bank, because customers can switch in a second the banks, right, if they're not happy. So if to keep a member or a customer happy, you need to keep on ensuring that the customer is getting what he or she needs. For that, they're dependent on analytical people like us, who can actually look at that whole set of information that is there with the bank and able to provide to the leaders, saying, you know what, there is a specific set of, like, I'll give you an example here to whoever asked the question. When I did that for my bank that I'm working on, I told, for age 15 to 25, nobody's happy who is actually banking with us. For the age 55 to 65, everybody's happy with our bank. So what we need to target is Gen Z. We don't need to target the aged people, because aged people are already happy, right? So these are analytical skills to understand the demographic data from the data information that you have, and then provide the information. I'm telling you, I can vouch anywhere, this only comes from engineering. You try to think differently. That thinking different, putting that mathematical mindset, all comes from engineering. right? If I go and ask a chartered accountant, they will start putting a big table and start working on it. So that will not work. That will not work in this industry, in banking industry going forward. What will work is all these, and analytical skills and basically the knowledge. I can challenge you that when we talk about all these type of regression models, simple regression, linear regression, all these things, engineers will understand like so quick about those models, so quick. Why? Because that is what is inculcated in their knowledge for 4 years. But if I give the same regression model and give it to a non-engineer, they will also learn. But the time that they will take to understand will be far more than engineer. And these are the type of models which is going to help us, help the banking sector in the future. That is my perspective.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, Ramnathan. Hello.
Yes, sir.
You said about that about the happiness index that the age group less than 25 they were totally unhappy
Yeah.
and above. So can you elaborate a little more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So the problem statement that was given to us was that we are not able to get new customers or new members into our bank, right? And that was a basic problem statement, right? What we need to do to actually attract more customers who are young, right? Because the young Gen Z people was the target, right? And the problem statement that is given to us for two engineers was, tell us what is actually happening, right? How many products and services is 15 to 25 years taking, 25 to 45 taking, 55 to 65 is taking, and what is the comparison, right? So when we did some deep dive on the data model, sir, then at that time we found out that Gen Z actually approaches the bank, they take a product, but they are so much digitally savvy that they actually move banks very quickly. So if you're not able to entertain folks like the Gen Z people, it is very easy for them to lose the focus. They just leave. They just leave and go, right? So the problem statement that's given to us is find out across. Again, the age group that I'm saying is all analytical. We were just given a big problem statement. So we actually, Sebastian sir, we did is we split all these into demographic groups of ages, and we started filtering using our statistical knowledge to actually create that kind of a model, which is now helping the bank to understand that, what, we have to actually improve our digital services for our members or customers who are young in age, who have actually passed the college, who are actually looking for some kind of funds to support them for education, higher education, who need some funds for probably some kind of an apprenticeship that they want to do. So we determine all these things using our data analytics, Sebastian sir, and that's how I believe that engineering is the key in actually gathering such kind of knowledge.
Just one more small thing. See, of course, you elaborated a lot about the role of engineers in banking. So, can you tell a little bit about such nowadays one very serious issue which we see as the digital bank has come into this much prominent, the issue of frauds means people are getting cheated with fraud transactions.
Yeah.
So what the role of the engineers in preventing that type of
Definitely. It's again a great question. So always remember one keyword that I'm saying. If you want to note it down, whatever you do, you have to keep one principle in mind: security by design. So that is a keyword: security by design. So anything that you do, anything that you think about, any requirement that you get that you want to design, security should be by design. The problem, Sebastian said, that we have across different organizations is security is always an afterthought. We design everything and then we talk about security. How can I secure their infrastructure. Lots of digital banks, lots of neo banks. That's where there's a problem. They are not able to actually identify the fraud and trying to attack and clear it. Because, to be honest, the fraudsters are more smarter than us. Yeah, that's a fact. The fraudsters are actually more faster than us. They have more advanced tools than us. So unless we have a security by design principle, it will be very difficult to counteract the fraudsters, especially when you have digital banks, right? Because you need to keep your infrastructure so strong that all these kind of SQL ingestion or phishing and all those things needs to be really looked upon with from a design perspective, right? So I think that is a big challenge right now with respect to security for sure, but I think it could be counteracted in my opinion. We should not compare ourselves with the fraudsters because fraudsters are smarter. I have accepted the fact that fraudsters are smarter than us. They have more advanced tools. They have got this whole dark web and all those things. But what can help me is that anything and everything that I design which is going to be member facing in a public domain, I use the concept of security by design. So I do anything that I design, I just say that it's going to be secure. Sebastian sir, that will be the key.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, there's a question that what is the role of big data analytics in the future of banking?
So, okay. So there is no future of banking for big data. Big data.
Digital banking.
So yeah, digital banking. So big data is a big misnomer in my opinion because now big data is now just data. Data within a bank. So if I can articulate a response in a way which will be useful for you is I cannot provide a good digital service to a customer if I am not able to understand the data for that customer. If I'm not able to articulate what that customer is actually doing with the bank, I will not be able to give what this customer needs. So what is the future of big data in banking? Data is going to be everything. I'm not going to use a word that people usually say. Data is the next oil. Data is the key. Forget about all those things. Data is going to drive the banking going forward, right? I don't know how many folks have already heard about open banking and all those things. Open banking is based on data. Right? When we talk about open banking, which is going to be a big thing, in the future, it is based on data. So the very honest, straightforward answer to you is data is going to be the key going forward when it comes to banking, right? Because like I said, I can challenge anyone that you cannot provide a good service or an advice to a customer if you don't understand the data. Yeah, so that's where, and big data is coming into the picture right now when we talk about multiple applications, multiple platforms, having lots of data. That's where big data comes. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We're talking about data. Big data, small data, medium data, all doesn't matter. Data is going to be important going forward, right? And it is going to be closely linked to banking because customers will demand that you solve my problem that I'm facing right now. Don't give me a product that I don't need, right? And how can I solve the problem for the customer? By understanding the data of that customer, right? So data is going to be the key. Big data is all part of the concept and all those things. Like, when we talk about Hadoop and big data and all those things, it's all part and parcel. One thing for all you engineers, very important, is data will be key for banking, right? And how you want to articulate that message is totally up to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Good question. Thank you. Good question.
Thank you, sir.
So, is there any question from other side?
Other side.
I saw a chat message from somebody called Bhumi.
Yes, sir. She want to ask to enter into finance. Can we enter directly after engineering or required any MBA like professional courses, like a specialization of finance?
So let me put it this way: you don't need to do a specialization in finance if you are in if you really want to enter the banking industry. That's how things are changing right now. But what we would recommend is that based on your interest, I would highly recommend to get some advanced skills on technologies like machine learning, artificial intelligence, distributed ledger technology, those kind of advanced skills which will actually help. Even IoT, like Internet of Things, right? Even that is going to be a big deal. It is already a big deal, but now things are going to like Internet of everything. Right? It's not Internet of Thing, Internet of everything, right? So but that is what I will recommend. So things are changing. Like B MBA, what I want to do, I would more recommend, like if I'm done engineering, advance your skill towards what you actually want to do, because now there are lots of options, lots and lots of options. I myself have done a PG diploma after my engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, on artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and blockchain. Why? Because I wanted to increase my knowledge in all these three subjects. So nothing is stopping you. But things have changed now. Earlier, when I used to finish engineering, people used to say, "B, okay, do an MBA, get a management graduate from either IIM or some other institute. You'll be at a better position." Things have changed now. There is no need to, change your path. But if you're interested in management, great, go for MBA. But if your interest is on engineering, there are lots and lots of courses that you can actually do to actually improve your knowledge, because banking sector nowadays doesn't need you to be a management graduate. They would actually happily hire you if you have got the skills that I was talking about, your analytical skills, specifically one subject. That is the key piece. I hope I'm answering your question.
Yes, sir. Is there any more questions?
So, should we conclude, Josh, sir?
Yeah.
So now I request Ms. Smita Jamkar, chairperson of IEEE Students Section of Sanjivani College of Engineering, to take over. Over to you, Smita.
Thank you, Arya. It is with immense pleasure that I stand in front of you all to propose vote of thanks. At the outset, let me thank today's expert speaker, Mr. Ramnathan Narayan, for delivering such a wonderful session on role of engineers in financial technology and future of banking. He has been a living example on how an engineering professional can make career in the banking sector through emerging technology. Thank you very much, sir, for extracting time from your very busy schedule to talk to the student to talk to the student of your own old institute. Let me also thank management of Sanjivani College of Engineering Director Dr. A.J. Thakur sir, deans and HODs for facilitating this program. A special word of appreciation to our HOD Dr. B.S. Agarkar sir for the keen interest he has taken in organizing this program. Thanks are also due to the event coordinator Dr. D.G. Lokande sir and the student coordinator Ms. Arya Gawan and Sanika More. We are highly privileged by the esteemed presence of faculty across all departments. Last but not the least, let me thank all the students who have attended the session. Thank you one and all.
I request all of you to turn on your camera so that I can take it the snap. Hello. Yeah. Sir, please. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Just a minute. Huh? Agarkar sir?
I think he's
Okay, fine.
is-
Okay, fine. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank
So
you very
thanks a
much.
lot, Ramanathan. Thanks a lot. We, in fact, our sincere apology for catching you like this on the way for doing a presentation
No
like this.
problem. Actually, to be honest, I apologize to all of you, including all the students, And I hope I gave some kind of motivation to all of you. Actually, I'm more privileged to be part of this session, talking to all of you. You don't need to thank me or privilege. It's my side that I'm privileged to actually have a conversation with all of you. Thank you for making time. You are the future. Engineers are the future. I can tell you right now. Yeah, and the college that you are in, I've got all good things to talk about. All the college and the teachers. Yeah, so just respect your teachers and learn mathematics, analytical. Keep those things in mind. Maybe another keyword, security by design,
Yeah, yeah. This
and
this
you
I
will
will
rock the
definitely
world
write it in my
organization.
diary today. I will definitely note this point. Security by design.
Security
Yeah,
by design is a keyword. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you,
Whenever
folks.
you
Thank
come to
you.
India,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
so
Thank you very
whenever
much.
you come
Thanks
to
for your
Thank
India,
you.
time.
please
Thank
come
you,
to the
sir.
college. Yeah, yeah. So Lokande sir, hello, Lokande sir, Lokande sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So we can close the meeting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me remove all, and I will close it. That.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hey.